Hi guys, and happy 2020 to you. Hope you had a lovely festive season and an amazing new year. We've had a couple of weeks to get acclimatised to the new decade now. Let's be honest, it feels very similar to the last one so far. In Vancouver, Canada here, we've had quite a lot of snow, so just been doing a bit of shoveling and nothing compared to the rest of Canada though. This is just a mere dusting here. But on to better things. So let's talk about the beard. You are here on Beard Watch after all. Well, over Christmas I decided to let it grow out a little and have it a bit longer than I had even on before my first video. And it's a really good way of showing just how much regrowth I've actually had. So there's actually new growth I've spotted. So we were talking in my last video about time being one of those 3 factors you've really got to take into consideration when going through Alopecia Barbae. But I mentioned as well that looking in the mirror, obsessing over regrowth, constantly wishing that you had your beard back, that's really kind of damaging in the long haul. So what you end up doing is, after a little acclimatization, you start getting used to living with the condition and you just forget about your previously majestic beard if you had one of those. I just always had kind of what you could say heavy stubble, but I did get to a beard a few times and just kept it nicely trimmed. But anyway, I'm rambling. So I've had some new regrowth. So coming down on my chin here, I'm going to come in very close. I apologise in advance for getting right up in your face, but we have to take a look at this. So I'm coming in here. So I just said nothing there because while I'm talking and opening my mouth it gets very hard to focus on the new growth. But it was right here, it was right next to when my alopecia first started. It was a very distinct line down the middle of my chin. So I've been used to it growing that way for a long time, so it just abruptly stops here and it's completely smooth into that large patch. But now, as I showed you there, there's some tiny black hairs growing from what was previously those white hairs. So it's really starting to fill over my chin. It's like another panel is getting filled in on my chin, which hopefully means this one will follow and then carrying on. But yeah, as I said, it's easy to get a little carried away once you see regrowth to kind of then see, oh, have I got more? You just want this thing to be over and to rush it. So what I've seen is some definite regrowth. I'm very, very happy. It's a great Christmas present and a good way to start the new year. But of course, I'm just keeping up with my routine, things I've done to point me in that right direction. And again, just like in my last video, it's hard to attribute any 3 things, 5 things, even 10 things that you know have helped with your beard. It can be a range of things, just like how it began. So you want to talk about how yours alopecia began. Just think about what was happening in your life at the time. A lot of stress at work, in your personal life, a mix of the two, money issues, anything that it could have been. There's always a long slew of things that you can't really pinpoint the thing that actually made it happen. But when it's stress induced, it's usually easy to point that finger in the right direction. Same with regrowth. It's hard to know what one or many things I've done to actually change this, but whatever's working is working. And I'll show you the update on this one too. So this is going to be the left patch, which I've showed you a few times now. So here. So that one continues to just follow the same pattern. It's every time I shave it seems to be growing over a little bit more, getting a little less obvious. So yeah, guys, it's just really, you're in for the long haul. We all know, I talked in my last video, this is something that continuously changes. You can be on top of it one week and think you've got some regrowth. The next week it could be back to square one. So it's definitely a difficult thing to get a grasp on. But I'm here to really give you guys encouragement and show you that it does happen eventually over time. Whether you're following along with my videos and matching it to your own progress, or you've had no progress whatsoever, or you've had better progress than me, I want to hear from you on the comments. So let me know how your journey's going, what you've done that you might think has been helping you. And I'm going to come back in a new video very soon. I've got a few planned, a few lined up for the new year. First one's going to be another 3 things that I really think have contributed to my regrowth. I've had some good suggestions in my private messages as well as in the comments. Again, shout out to my new subscribers. I've got 8 of you out there now, so really appreciate that, guys, and I will continue making new content for you. Another video I'm going to come up with here will be my first kind of week of having the condition. So just from those, I was actually unfortunate enough to work in an environment where people say what's on their mind. They disguise it as honesty, but let's be honest, it's just downright rudeness. So there's things I never, as a polite British guy, maybe from my little tiny pocket of England, just a very small, close-knit environment. People joke, and we of course, we take the mickey out of each other, we'd say, or take the piss, or just have a bit of banter. Any of those things, that's fine when it's kind of light-hearted and in jest. But out here I have had a few issues with people just flat out saying, what's going on with your beard? Like, what happened to your beard? You know, just no kind of tact or politeness. I think it comes with age as well, they're a bit younger. So I will talk about those first few steps that I took in terms of trying to deal with having one patch. And as we know, it progresses so quickly. Within a month I had what you see here, but a lot worse. So that's something else that will be coming to, also a timeline of, I've talked a bit about how it was in the beginning, and I've referred to that. So I will come up with a timeline once my computer's fixed and I can probably edit. As you may have noticed, these videos are in one big chunk, so there's a reason for that at the moment. But once I've got things up and running, I'm going to do a nice little slideshow from the beginning. From the video I saw that the photo I noticed the very first small patch. It's funny to think of it then as a small patch. To now, so you will see a progression, you will see the regrowth, and I hope that goes for you guys too in your lives. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll be with you very soon for a new one. Cheers.